What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shake 72 coming to you guys with a video right now. So I want to go over obviously some of these, look into the future a little bit, because honestly, the content is running really dry with this team, and we're mostly embarrassing this team than saying anything positive about it. Okay, so Doug Pederson, obviously Jeffrey Lurie is going to be letting this guy sink. This way there's no excuse. You can't fire him early. Of course, the Eagles could have fired him. I wanted him fired, but you know what? Give Doug the chance that he had the chance the rest of the year to sink himself even more. This way, maybe they'll pull another Chip Kelly thing where, 1 game left on the schedule, 2 games left on the schedule, maybe fire him a little early to get this head coach OC search a lot faster. Okay, and then going to defensive coordinator. If Jim stays, he stays. But I wasn't a big fan of Jim Schwartz defending Nate Gary as Doug Pederson was defending Carson Wentz for weeks, and then started throwing him under the bus a little bit, not really saying it, but kind of pointing to that direction of not playing too well as a franchise quarterback. Now, as Jim Schwartz stays, I won't care, but Howie Roseman as well, just building this whole entire roster has been absolutely horrible. Defensively, we have bad contracts. Defensively, guys like Jalen Mills have to go. Jalen Mills has to go. Okay, we have linebackers that really probably haven't showed what they have. Okay, Javon Hargrave is a bad contract, 6th highest paid defensive tackle in the league. And you have like 3 or 4 defensive linemen that are making over $10 million a year. Derek Barnett's going to get paid soon, but that's probably not going to happen. Too much money is tied into this defensive line right now. Need to spread some of that money around, just like we paid Darius Slay, which was probably the biggest sign that we had on defense. That was a big need for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, so if Jim goes, don't care. Really don't care at this point. I don't. I mean, defense has played, but, he's done some things where I'm tired of these corners getting, giving too much cushion to these wide receivers. We're lining up 10, 15 yards off the ball. I can't stand it. Where you see guys like Rasul Douglas that's lining up face-to-face on a wide receiver on the Panthers and playing really well, being physical with his body. Obviously, receivers don't have any head start. So we're going to go with the first one, okay? And that is Eric Bieniemy. From the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a running backs coach from 13 to 17, and then for the past 3 years, he's been an offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Okay, you obviously know how this offense is in Kansas City. It's a Cougar offense, it's just fast all around with a fantastic quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so he's been there a long time. Now, he's probably going to be searching for a lot of teams. Obviously, the Lions are going to be a needy team for a GM and a head coach, after firing Matt Patricia and their GM on the same day. So the Lions could be a big thing for Eric as well to turn that team around. But obviously, you got to have a good GM. I don't know who has the final say in Kansas City. I'm not really sure about that. But from what Eric has done with this offense in Kansas City the past few seasons, it's been fantastic. I mean, I'm very impressed with what he's done with all these. He uses everybody to their strengths. He knows where to line these guys up. He designs plays very well, and they draft the right guys. When you draft the right guys and have the right game plan every week, you're going to be successful, and they already got a Super Bowl under their belt. So obviously right now they could probably win another Super Bowl this year, probably will happen. Okay, so this could be a huge candidate. Now, people are going to say, well, he's from the Andy Reid tree. Do we want to trust it? This is Eric Bieniemy that we're talking about here, not Doug Pederson, okay? I remember in 2015, Doug Pederson was playing against the Patriots. He had really bad game management. I remember the game before he came to the Eagles. And it was just really bad, and the play calling was bad. They were getting tackled too much behind the line of scrimmage. The offense looked horrible, and Doug had one of the last ranked offenses in Kansas City before he left, in a lot of categories. So getting Eric here, it will probably be a huge step, probably be a big win for the Eagles if they can get him at the end of the year. But nothing's promised right now, obviously very early. But there's no doubt in my mind Jeffrey Lurie has probably made a phone call over there about the status of him at the end of the year, especially to Andy Reid since they're very close, obviously. So we'll definitely see that now. Defensive coordinator. Now, I don't know. There's probably going to be a lot more candidates at the end of the year, depending on who's on their last year. And just because they're on coaches on their last year of their contract doesn't mean that they still can't go or They have another year left, or it doesn't matter at this point, because Doug, I think, still has another year or two left on his contract with the Eagles, as well as Howie Roseman. I think they both got 4-year deals at some point a year or two ago. I forgot. So they're going to look at another guy, and you're going to be like, okay, this isn't too bad. And I think Dan Quinn, that was fired from the Atlanta Falcons this past year. Dan Quinn, was one of the highly respected defensive coordinators with the Seahawks, winning Super Bowl. And doing a really good job there with those guys with the Legion of Boom. Did a really good job in coaching those guys up and just a better DC, obviously, after the Falcons pretty much lost in that Super Bowl and that comeback win from the Patriots. I think that was pretty much it. I thought Atlanta would never be back there again. I thought it was a downhill from there. So I think they ran, their patience ran thin with Dan Quinn, and could be a big, to come back as a DC, just like Matt Patricia. He'll probably go back to the Patriots as a DC, most likely, or he'll go somewhere else. I don't think he'll come here. I think he'll go back to the Patriots, most likely. But Dan Quinn is definitely a huge. I think he's a player's coach. I mean, I've never really heard any bad things about Dan Quinn. Even looking at him, I really don't see any bad things about him. He's just not head coach material. I just think he is long overdue past where he should have been head coach there, and could be a enticing option for the Eagles at defensive coordinator if Jim Schwartz does leave. I don't know what the case is with Jim Schwartz. He's still going to be here. Obviously, it's too early to tell right now, but Dan Quinn would be a pretty good coach. So I don't really know. And then if you get a defensive coordinator, just say you get Dan Quinn. You get Dan Quinn, you get Eric as the offensive coordinator, and a head coach, depending if they want to have a separate head coach and an offensive coordinator. I don't know what they want to do. I don't know what Jeffrey Lurie wants to have 2-1 with somebody. Obviously, we thought we were going to get Jim Caldwell. In the beginning, we thought we were going to get Jim Caldwell. That didn't work out at all. So, because Doug wanted to call the plays, and what offensive coordinator that's used to calling plays is going to come here and just be an assistant? Nah. So that was pretty much a no-no for Jim Caldwell. But I think getting these two guys, this is just very early. We're just kind of just talking about it right now. You could really think about it to be some type of good decision, but I guess we'll find out when the time comes. So I appreciate everybody watching today. What do you guys think about Dan Quinn and Eric Bieniemy coming to the Eagles at the end of the year? No doubt in my mind, Eric's probably going to be the top candidate to be a head coach to an offensive coordinator. A lot of teams are probably going to go after. A couple teams are going to go after, so I don't doubt it at all. And Dan Quinn is just one of many. I don't know who else. Matt Patricia. I don't know who else. And then you could talk about OC as well. And I don't know who they're going to get, but there's a lot of this, and we'll find out. More names will be coming out. There'll be a lot of firings, and we'll see what happens. A young, innovative coach coming to the Eagles on offense would be probably fantastic, and I love it. So hopefully one of these does happen. So we're just looking to the future a little bit and kind of not go crazy about it. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys later. Shake squad up, Flowers Fly. Peace out, guys. Peace.